Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. FPL Consult here, and today we're gonna do the Game Week 16 deadline stream. So this is the last stream before the World Cup, right? So it's gonna be I'm gonna stream for quite a while today, about two and a half hours approximately. We're gonna try and hit 3,000 subscribers. Okay, on this stream we're gonna try and do that. Maybe a little bit of a stretch, but if I stream long enough, maybe we can get there, right? We can dream. So, for today, right, first up, I'm just gonna go through a little bit of my team, and how it's looking right now. So, I've already made the transfer. I know a lot of people are going to wait for the team leaks, so not to worry, I got you guys covered. I have already prepared the Instagram account, the Twitter account. I've prepared everything, so that when the team leaks come out, I'll be streaming all the way till the deadline. So 15 minutes before, or maybe 25 minutes before the deadline, we may already get news. So I'll be monitoring Twitter, I'll be monitoring Instagram, so that we can see what news we get, right? That's going to determine our transfers, right? And hopefully in the process we can hit 3,000 subscribers. Alright, so for my team, I've already made my transfer, so I've moved early this week. I was kind of forced to do it because I wanted Darwin Núñez, and Mitrovic was going to drop in price. So I actually made this move before Darwin Núñez rose and also before Mitrovic dropped. So what that meant was that I actually made 0.2 million, right? That could be useful, could come in handy in the next couple of game weeks after the World Cup. So for now, this is how it's looking. Ward in goal. I don't want to double up on Pope and Trippier, right? I'm fine with just having Trippier as coverage for Newcastle. Then we're going to go with the defense of Cancelo, Dunk. So for now, the back three, right? The only, I guess, position that isn't confirmed yet is whether I go for Dunk, Gehi, or Zuma, right? I really want to get you guys' thoughts on whether I should go for Dunk, Gehi, or Zuma, right? And I'm not really sure which one I should go for. I think it's pretty close between the three of them. So for now, I've got Dunk there. I actually don't fancy Gehi to keep a clean sheet, to be honest. Nottingham Forest have looked pretty good at home. Crystal Palace are quite poor away as well. So I don't know. Not really feeling too confident about Gehi as well. And then we're going to go with the midfield: De Bruyne, Rashford, Zaha, Martinelli. I'm pretty happy with this. I do think De Bruyne would start. Yes, of course, ideally, I wouldn't want to go without Salah, but it is what it is, right? I think having Darwin Núñez helps me to get a little bit of Liverpool coverage, right? May not be as explosive as Salah, of course, but I think we're gonna go without Salah. I don't see myself taking a hit for De Bruyne to Salah, right? And then up front, Haaland, Wilson, Darwin. So for now, we're going to captain Haaland. Right, thank you everyone for joining. Stuart says, may have jumped the gun on Darwin last week. It's flavor of the week now, so no need to advise others to take. Everyone is already transferring Darwin Núñez. He's already risen in price. Bosco member in the chat, he says, let's go. Last week before the World Cup, tired of waiting for the team news. Transfer Wilson out, Martial in, armband on Haaland, vice captain KDB. Yeah, that sounds okay. Well, Martial is actually an interesting pick for this game week. Martial is interesting because, I mean, depending on whether he starts, right? If he starts, I think he could very well get a couple of returns against Fulham, right? That's of course if he starts. He's been so injury prone, and he played quite a decent amount of time in the Carabao Cup against Aston Villa. So may or may not start the Fulham game, but if he starts, I think Martial could be quite good. Jonathan, Selwyn in the chat, nice to see you guys. Why Núñez over Firmino? I think objectively, in terms of chances, the big chances that fall to Darwin Núñez as opposed to Firmino, right? Definitely we're gonna go for Núñez. Selwyn says play Dunk. Yeah, I mean I have Dunk for now. I'm actually not. I think I will stick with Dunk. My gut just tells me Dunk. We'll take a look at the clean sheet odds later, but for now I'm gonna put it on Dunk. I would prefer Dunk, Gehi, Zuma, as West Ham form is too bad and Forest home isn't an easy clean sheet. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. So that's why I don't think I'll start Gehi. So that leaves just Dunk and Zuma. Between the two, I definitely favor Brighton. So I think this is what I'm gonna go with. Will Haaland play 90 minutes or is it safe to captain Salah? We're gonna get news. We're gonna get news on it later on. I will go over to Instagram and we'll watch the video together. We'll look at the photo or we'll look at the post. We'll just basically we'll go through it together. But for now, I think it's safe to say that no one knows. No one knows. So let's just wait for the team leaks. I would say that it may be safer to leave your captain's armband on Haaland for now. Actually, right? You should leave it on Haaland in the event that he plays, right? Because say you had Haaland and Salah and the server crashes, which player would you rather have the captain's armband on? Haaland should be starting his game week. I actually do think he will start. Zuma probably poses more of a threat with set pieces. I don't see any. Exactly. It is a toss. Like we don't really know who's gonna get clean sheets. So it is a little bit. It's gonna be down to a bit of luck, I think. Dunk does sound like he does seem like he stands the best chance though. One free transfer, thinking about getting either Trent or Firmino. Trent would mean Saliba on the bench. Firmino would mean Solanke on the bench. Which is safer? I would definitely not put Saliba on the bench. Firmino would mean Solanke on the bench. I think I would definitely not bench Saliba. I think it's an easy clean sheet, so maybe I would go for Firmino then in your situation. There are quite a couple of players at that price bracket actually. Jesus is fine. You can go for Martial as well. Pretty much those two. Love your content. Thank you very much. Your views on Darwin and Rashford. Rashford says Zaha for DCL and Foden for a -4 hit. Don't really like taking hits this week, especially since there's only one game week, so it's pretty much we're pretty much punting, and we're pretty much gambling, to be honest. So I don't think a -4 is something that I would do, but if it's Darwin, it's for Darwin and Rashford. Okay, because I think your move involves Foden. I think we wait for team leaks, because if Foden is playing, I see no reason why you should transfer him out. Right, Foden against Brentford at home. I think let's not forget how good Foden is. My Martial pick is actually based on the coming World Cup. CR7 may want to stay on the bench to prevent injury. Rashford is also in the England squad. Only Martial doesn't need to participate. That's the thing. A lot of people are saying that World Cup may come into play now. But from what I'm reading, the coaches aren't too keen to rest players if they need them. So who would you play out of Dunk or Dyer? Maybe Dunk. Tottenham have been so poor defensively. The goalkeeper dilemma is between Gaeta and Ward. Depends if you have if you already have Leicester coverage, like maybe Castagna, then I'll go for Ward. But if not, I think it makes sense to start Gaeta first. Nottingham Forest away. I like to spread the risk, basically. Wilson play or bench? My thoughts on Wilson is that if he doesn't start, I don't think he'd come off the bench. I see very little chance of him coming on for a 1-pointer or a 2-pointer. Is it okay to go from KDB to Salah for -4 and captain Salah? I can't get Haaland, can't captain Haaland because if he gets a hat-trick, he will get 70 points. While Salah gets a hat-trick, he will get 21 points. I don't think I would think of it that way though. I say we wait for the team news actually, because okay, my thoughts is my move last week. After thinking about it, I did Salah to KDB, but after thinking about it, I realized that Kevin De Bruyne's points, majority of his points come from assisting Haaland. So actually, if Haaland is playing together with De Bruyne, I think that's a banger there. We don't take either of them out, right? But if Haaland isn't playing and it's just De Bruyne, then I think you could make a case to take a -4 for Salah and captain him. You could make a case to do that, right? But the team leagues are so important because we really need to see whether both of them are playing, Foden as well. So let's wait. I'll be here with you guys. I'll be here with all the way. DCL isn't available. Yeah, DCL isn't available. Mitrovic also out. Wilson isn't playing according to reports. Is that right? I think the latest news from Eddie Howe himself is that he's a doubt, but he's been training just away from the team, but he's still in contention. Martial or Solanke? Ideally Martial. If you can get to Martial, then Martial. Thanks a lot, GV. GV is helping me to spread the word so that I can get to 3K subscribers. If you guys are watching and you're not subscribed yet, we're trying to hit 3,000 subscribers by the end of the stream. Right, so please help me out and hit the button. Foden out for Rashford or Wilson for Jesus? Right. Any moves that surround Foden or surround players like De Bruyne, Haaland, Alvarez. Let's just wait for the news. Let's wait for the news. But if he's not playing, Foden out for Rashford, I think I would do that. If it's between Foden out for Rashford or Wilson for Jesus, I will go for Foden out for Rashford, provided Foden is not playing. Kane or Darwin captain? I say Kane. If it was between the two of them, but honestly speaking, I think if you have Salah, you captain Salah. If you have Haaland, you captain Haaland if he plays. Callum Wilson is a doubt to face Chelsea this weekend after suffering an illness. Yeah. The latest news for that is basically that we're gonna wait and see, because he's not ruled out, but he's a doubt. Right, he's training with the team separately. He's doing his when Eddie Howe was asked about whether he's training separately because he's not up to fitness yet, or is it just because of the illness that he doesn't want to spread the cold to other people. Eddie Howe said it's just solely because of his illness, right? It's not because he's not up to fitness yet. So I do think there's a decent chance that we see Wilson getting some. Possibly starting. I don't think he will come on off the bench. So in that case, I think it's fine to start him. And then if he doesn't start, then Andreas comes in. Managers are becoming Pep. Always saying we'll see, and the press conference is becoming more useless. Exactly. For the past 3 weeks, Pep has said we'll see. Exactly the same thing. He just says we'll see. I think there's really no point in us waiting for news from Pep. We might as well just wait for the team leaks, right? Question is then, in the future when we don't get early kickoff for Manchester City, then it's going to be much more of a struggle. Maybe we go away, we move away from Man City assets. Obviously not Haaland, obviously not Cancelo. But maybe those midfielders, we can go somewhere else. Captain Haaland or Salah if you have both of them. Haaland or Salah? Okay, it really depends, right? If we get the team news that Haaland is starting, I say easily we captain Haaland. But if he doesn't, then you captain Salah. So the question is, if the servers crash, right, which one is safer for you to leave it on at the moment? I actually think if I had Salah, right, if I had Salah, I would probably leave it on Salah just in case Haaland doesn't start. Just in case Haaland doesn't start. Right, Salah is pretty much guaranteed to play 90 minutes. So if you had both of them, I would leave it on Salah and vice captain Haaland. Then when we get news that Haaland is playing, right, if he is, then you swap it to Haaland. Thoughts on Mitoma for a 1 week punt? He's interesting, but I think it's a little bit that's pretty much a really punty punt if you understand what I mean. I wouldn't go there, to be honest. I prefer like Pascal Gross, who's on a couple of set pieces. I don't think I would go to Mitoma. Wilson to Solanke for a -4, I wouldn't do that. 10 subs away from 3k. Not really. We are 120 subscribers away from 3k. I think it's a little bit of a stretch, but we'll see whether we can get there. Hopefully we can. Will Perisic play forward again? Kulu and Richarlison back at forward. Based on the news, based on predictions as well, it seems like Kulusevski and Richarlison may come back into the starting 11. So the forums are saying that Perisic would play still, but he would play at left wing back. So I wouldn't take a gamble on him starting in front. Right, let's put a poll for the third defender. I'm still stuck on which one I should start. Who will you start? Gehi, Dunk, or Zuma? Right, let me know what you guys think. Who would you start? Currently it's on Dunk, so Doherty and Mitchell to Darwin and Martinez for a -4, or Doherty to Perisic and play Andreas for free. I wouldn't bring Darwin Núñez in for a -4. I actually think Andreas should be a starter. I would start Andreas over taking a -4 for anyone. Right, Andreas is on penalties because Mitrovic is out. So essentially your threshold for playing Andreas should be the same as your threshold for playing Mitrovic. If you were going to start Mitrovic this week, it's the same as starting Andreas this week. Mitchell, Wilson, Darwin, Solanke, Welbeck, assuming for the start. In both cases, you need to start Gehi or just do Jesus and White. I think we wait for the news. Right, let's wait for the news and we'll make a decision. We're gonna be here all the way till the deadline. We're gonna stream for quite long today. Hopefully we can get to 3k. And then maybe you can do a little bit of a Q&A at the end. Good day, Consult. Good day, Donny. Happy with the team. If Foden and Haaland start. So looking at defender transfers. Robbo, Trips, Gehi, White, Castagna. Robbo starts with White. Castagna to Konate. I think if you have this defense, you probably start Trippier, you start Robbo, you start White. I don't think there's a need to make defensive swaps, to be honest. But if you're looking for defensive swaps, and you can't go anywhere else for the more explosive picks like Perisic, etc., then I guess Castagna to Konate is fine. Should I start Andreas over Mount? That's a good one. I think I start Mount. But Andreas with the penalties though. That is tight. Will Wilson start? Should I start Wilson for Watkins? Don't have any cash in the bank left. I'm not too keen on Ollie Watkins. I'm not too keen on Ollie Watkins. Should I sub? I have a feeling that Wilson will start. If he doesn't start, then Andreas off the bench for whoever that you guys have. I think it's okay as well. Question is, are there better options though? You could just go for Wilson to Martial. I think Wilson to Martial is a move that I will make. Took risk, Madison out, Salah in, make Salah captain. That is totally fine. That is a good move. One free transfer, KDB to Salah, start Andreas, or Mitrovic to Martial and start Martial. I prefer the Mitrovic to Martial move, provided Haaland starts. Because I mentioned just now, most of Kevin De Bruyne's points, right? I did this analysis only because I took Salah out last week. It didn't work too well. And I realized that most of Kevin De Bruyne's points actually come from assisting Haaland. So I mentioned this just now. I think if we see that Haaland and De Bruyne both start, I don't think there's a need to take De Bruyne out. Is 3 premiums the way to go from Game Week 17 onwards? Haven't even looked at the fixtures after Game Week 17, to be honest. I actually think 2 premium would still... It'd probably be Haaland plus either a Salah or Haaland plus... okay, probably Haaland plus Salah. I don't think... Right, it's too early to say. I haven't looked at it yet, but I think there are quite a lot of good options in the 8 mil bracket. Right, Madison, Bowen, cheap options like Almiron, pretty good as well. I'll make some videos on it after the World Cup. Worried about Kevin De Bruyne's minutes. Yeah, I think we wait for the news. Jesus or Darwin, definitely Darwin if you can get to him. Dunk is just a safe bet. I feel if you want to try a punt, you choose the other two as a differential. I'm a safe player though. I think I'm likely to go with Dunk, but I just want to see what people are thinking, and maybe I'm missing something, you know. Start Solanke or Almiron. He's in such good form though, Almiron. Almiron is on fire. The fixture play would be for Solanke, but I think it's pretty close between them. Probably would go for... I favor fixtures a little bit more, so I go for Solanke. Firmino instead of Wilson. If you have no other moves, I think that's okay. If we don't do any transfers, do we get 2 free transfers after the World Cup? No. So that's a good question, because I received a couple of DMs regarding this. If you roll your transfer in Game Week 16, and we come to Game Week 17 now where there's unlimited transfers, so long as you make 2 or more transfers in Game Week 17, that rolled transfer that you brought over from Game Week 16 would disappear. You would no longer have it anymore. So I think you're better off just taking a punt in Game Week 16, and you're better off just using it to improve your squad for this week, and then just use the unlimited transfers in Game Week 17. I have a feeling that Andreas could get a penalty because Lisandro Martinez could easily foul a player. Andreas is actually a really good player to have on the bench this week, right? He could easily start as well, but for my team, I think I would start Wilson ahead of Andreas. Salah or Haaland captain? I say if you have both, you leave it on Salah for the time being and swap over to Haaland if we get news that he starts. Robbo or Trent? Definitely Trent if you can afford Trent. Haaland will definitely Haaland this week. He's not gonna World Cup. If he starts, I think there's every chance. He played half an hour against Fulham, and he already put the ball in the net twice. So, a couple of people are favouring Gehi actually in the poll. Pure fixture play that. That one looks like a pure fixture play. It's tough. I think I would probably wait all the way till closer to the deadline. For now I'm locked on this. Solanke instead of Welbeck. Yeah, I prefer Solanke over Welbeck. Start Andreas or Webster? Andreas. Always the attacker for me. Should I go for Webster or Anderson to Trent for -4 or not? I don't think I would do that. I just start either one of them. I don't think I would. And for a free transfer, I would. For a -4, I don't think I would. Not related to this game week, but Bailey might be a better cheap midfielder to have after the World Cup. For sure. He's at 4.5 now. So cheap. Alright, let's take a look at some of the predicted points for this week from Fantasy Football Hub. So, no surprise here. Haaland is up top, 9.4 points predicted against Brentford. He's expected 88 minutes as well. So, the model is taking into account the fact that he plays 88 minutes, right? But of course, if he doesn't start, if we get news that he doesn't start, then of course that prediction would come down. Salah closely after that, I think no surprise as well, 8.3. I actually didn't expect Salah to score 2 against Tottenham, so I guess it was a little bit of a bummer. So Salah 8.3, Kane 8.1, De Bruyne 8. I basically think that if Haaland and De Bruyne both play, I think those are hauls there. Given Brentford's defense, they've been so poor as well. Right, Trent at 6.2. Those of you looking to bring Trent in, every chance he hauls. I think against Southampton, who are in a little bit of a tricky situation with the manager right now. So I think you could bank on that. Right, Cancelo, he's fit to play. Those of you who transferred him out, I've seen a couple of the transfer statistics, and a lot of people transferred Cancelo out, but he's fit to play, right? So if you haven't made your moves, please keep Cancelo. Right, Martial 5.6. Right, he's predicted to get 70 points based on 70 minutes based on the model. Right, and so on and so forth. Rashford at 5.4 as well. So I do like that De Bruyne and Haaland are pretty high up this predictions. I do like that. Transfer Mitrovic out for Martial or Foden for Rashford. If Foden doesn't start, then of course you do him to Rashford. Right, we'll keep a lookout for the team leaks. Right, since you guys are here as well, I probably should move over to the team leaks. Right, so basically I really only trust a couple of sources. Right, so on Twitter and on Instagram, I'm pretty selective with the sources because last week there was a couple of verified sources that tweeted team news that was not accurate as well. So I collated a list of accounts on Twitter. If you guys want to give them a follow, I only trust these accounts for team leaks, right? So let me show it to you guys. Right, so these are the only accounts that I trust for team leaks, right? For those interested, here are the accounts. I block or mute anyone else who claims to have early team news. So I've been on Twitter for quite a while, and a lot of leaks, a lot of people claim to have leaks because they want to gain followers, but these accounts, right, if you are on Twitter, right, you should follow them because they have been giving consistent team leaks. So those are the accounts you could go for. Team news and ticks, obviously we're gonna go for him. We're gonna look at his Instagram in a while's time, later, 15 minutes before the deadline, about half an hour before the deadline. We'll be refreshing. He is the most reliable one, right, followed by C345, Sam, and then the rest of them are all pretty accurate as well, right? FPL Rockstar, FPL Villain, Odds on FPL. This is Paul, right? Paul gives really good Tottenham predictions as well. And then there's Samuel Martin, Leicester correspondent, and Nathan Gissing. So all of them are very consistent with their team leaks, right? But obviously, this one here, this leak lineup team news and ticks on Instagram, this is the one we're gonna go for, right? So famously, this video last game week crashed the servers, right? So hopefully this week you get your transfers ready, right? Get your flow charts ready and don't get caught out by the servers, basically. Right, have it ready, and once the team news come out, once the team news comes out, just basically lock your transfers in. Right, we'll come back to this later on. Would you do Mitrovic plus Kevin De Bruyne to Haaland captain plus Saka for -4 hit? We'll just do Mitrovic to Darwin for free but Salah captain. I think it really depends on whether Haaland starts or not. If Haaland starts, I think you have to have Haaland, right? Because his effective ownership is just going to be so high. Everyone's just going to captain him. Right, just let me refresh this page to make sure that my team is locked as is. So Ward, Cancelo, Trippier, Dunk, De Bruyne, Rashford. Yeah, okay. For now it's looking like this. I think Cancelo made a lot of managers, including me, have to take a -4 in anger. In anger. But he's one of the better options this week against Brentford, though. Patterson or Gehi. I think Patterson is a little bit of a risk. Because Coleman has started in his position. So, yeah. I go for the safer pick, so Gehi. What's going on with Wilson? So Wilson is currently having the same illness that he's had in the past couple of game week. So he's basically had a flu, had a cold, and basically he couldn't play. He played 45 minutes last week, got subbed off because he wasn't able to continue. And this week he trained separately from the squad, and Eddie Howe has said that he only trains separately not because he's not up to fitness to train with the first team yet, but basically he's trained separately from the team because of his illness. They don't want it to spread to other people. So for now, right, Wilson is fitness-wise, he's okay. Right, in terms of his immunity, may not be that good. So we'll take a look, but for now he's in my starting 11. I think there's a decent chance he starts. If he doesn't, then Andreas, get your bench ready this week. Andreas would come in for Wilson. We're so lucky that for the past couple of weeks, City had early kickoff, because if they didn't, captaincy options and keeping Foden would be tough choices. Yeah, for sure. So this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? when game week 17 comes around and game week 18 comes around, Man City is no longer the early kickoff. What do? I say we keep Haaland, we keep Cancelo, and that third midfield spot, right, for De Bruyne, Foden, etc., we go somewhere else. You're better off going for Salah, who's guaranteed 90 minutes, and go for another, possibly double up on Man City defense if you want. I think their fixtures are pretty okay. I mean, whether or not they're okay, they're still the best defense. So Leeds, Everton. Right, maybe not double up on them immediately, but after this run, it seems pretty okay. Yeah. Any Haaland news? Not yet. We're still early. Ward, Trippier, Cancelo, Van Dijk. Thinking of selling Totti to Pereira. Could you not go elsewhere though? Ward, Trippier, Cancelo, Van Dijk, Eze, Bowen, Salah, Trossard, Martinelli, Solanke, Haaland. I think you could do better. You could make better moves there. Possibly keeper transfers. I wouldn't mind keeper transfers for your team. Foden to Kulusevski depends. It depends on whether Foden starts or not. We'll get news later. Solanke or Wilson? If I had both, I would start Solanke. Trippier captain or triple captain Salah. None of them. Like triple captain, none of them. Martial in for Mitchell and start him over Wilson. Yeah, I think I would do that. Right, if your team is pretty well set up, right, such that you don't need to play Wilson, I think you start Martial ahead of Wilson. Start 2 out of Castagna, Gehi, Webster, Andreas. Andreas for sure. So it's between Webster, Gehi, and Castagna. Castagna. Yeah, Castagna. Right, thank you for the membership, Toby. Thank you so much. Right, long time due. I went Wilson to Martial last punt walk. I think for those of you who have moves that you don't need to wait for team leagues, if your moves are not surrounded by Man City players, so whether you take Foden out, whether you take De Bruyne out, if you don't have to make any of these moves, I'd say you might as well just go early. Right, I've done it, not just because I've done it, but I think you're better off making sure that your 1 week punt goes through than risking the server crashing on you. Eric says, should I sell Wilson for Martial? Don't know whether Wilson is starting or not. If you have no other transfers, I would totally do it. I would do Wilson to Martial. Yeah. Do you think it was a good sign that Haaland didn't play against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup? Yeah, I actually think it was. I think it was pretty good that he didn't play. I didn't want him to play at all. I think it increases his chance of starting this weekend, in fact. I was on the verge of making the Mitrovic to Darwin move, right? But that would obviously depend on whether De Bruyne and Haaland start. So now that they both were rested in the Carabao Cup, I think there's a good chance they both start. So that kind of gave me the confidence to do Mitrovic to Darwin Núñez early because I can't afford him anymore, right? If I had waited, I couldn't afford it. Start Solanke or Andreas? Solanke. Gabriel or Perisic? Perisic. Wilson to Jesus or Firmino or Edward to Solanke. Much prefer either Jesus or Firmino, so I think Wilson to Jesus. I would do that. Is it worth taking a -4 for Almiron? I don't think I would. I don't think I would. Start Bowen or Andreas. Bowen. Will there be a price drop or increase tomorrow? Tonight will be the last price rise or price drop. Tonight will be the last one. Right. Okay, we've gained about, I think, 10 subscribers since we started. So hopefully we can get there. Hopefully we can get to 3,000. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for those of you who became a member as well, right? Toby, thanks for becoming a member. Really, really helps out the channel. If you guys want to check that out as well, the link is in the description. Alright, so I think now we'll take a look at the clean sheet odds, because I've seen the poll, and basically a lot of people are favoring Gehi. Right? A lot of people think that Gehi is going to keep a clean sheet. Let's take a look at the clean sheet odds then. Alright, so for now, this is how it's looking like, clean sheet odds. Man City, obviously at the top. Liverpool, 45%. So basically, Liverpool and Man City, if you want to go for any of their defenders as 1 week punts, because you don't have any other transfers that you need to make, I think it's fine to go for them. Especially Trent. I think Trent is someone who could go quite crazy this game week. Right, then we have Arsenal against Wolves. Tottenham, surprisingly at 37.5, but I honestly don't think their chances of keeping a clean sheet is that high. Right, then we have Brighton 36%, Crystal Palace 34%. Right, Dunk is marginally better as an option, and I think just based on the eye test, Crystal Palace have just looked so leaky away from home. And coupled with the fact that Nottingham Forest look good at home, I doubt I would go for Gehi. So it's really between Zuma or Dunk, right? Okay, for now I'm gonna leave it on Dunk. For now it's gonna be on Dunk. Right, but for those of you guys who are having similar decisions to make, I'll leave this on the screen for a while. Right? I think it's quite useful to let the numbers do the thinking for us, right? Because more often than not, these are pretty accurate. More often than not. Solanke or Almiron, I would start. If you're choosing one to start, I would go for Solanke. I would start Solanke. Jesus or Solanke. I would start Jesus for sure. Please rank who to start between Andreas, Dunk, and Castagna. Andreas. I would always start the attacker. Yeah. I think Andreas, he's on penalties. I think he's a really good shout. I'm not 100% sure if, provided Wilson stays on the bench, I think the only decisions I have left, I move over to my team again, the only decisions I have left is whether I want to start Andreas ahead of Wilson. I think the defense is pretty certain. I'll probably go for Dunk, right? So say I'm down to my last maybe 15 minutes. I'll probably just decide whether I want to start Andreas ahead of Wilson and whether I want to go for Zuma ahead of Dunk, but I probably wouldn't do that. So as for Ward and Pope, I'm pretty sure I start Ward because I don't want to double up on Newcastle defense. -4 for Darwin Núñez instead of Jesus. I wouldn't take a -4 to bring Núñez in. Trippier or Anderson? Trippier for sure. Trippier. The thing with Trippier is that regardless of whether they keep a clean sheet or not, the number of chances he creates, he could get the assist. And if they happen to keep a clean sheet, then that's 3 extra bonus points for him because he's always on those set pieces, creating so many chances. He's just a bonus points magnet. So definitely would start Trippier. Who to buy, Jesus or Martial? If you could afford both, I would say Jesus is the. I would prefer Jesus, just based on the number of chances that Arsenal would probably create against Wolves. Right, but if you're feeling extra punty and you have a gut feel, this is the week to go for it, because we're just gambling here pretty much, right? You're trying to pick who's gonna do well this game week. So you could go for Martial as well. It's pretty close. Mitchell to Martial or Wilson to Darwin? Wilson to Darwin is definitely better. I much prefer Wilson to Darwin. It's pretty likely this week that we're gonna see either of Wilson or Mitchell. Okay, Mitrovic is definitely not gonna play, right? So if you have the three of them, some people have Mitrovic, some people have Wilson as well, and some people have Haaland. So that's like me, right? Before I made the transfer, I see you would probably just keep Haaland and just do Wilson or Mitrovic to whoever your preferred attacker is. So if you can get to Darwin Núñez from Wilson, then definitely go for Wilson out for Núñez. Do you think Newcastle will keep a clean sheet? I think it could go either way. They're playing Chelsea, so it could go either way. Will Foden play? Will Wilson play? Will Haaland play? Let's wait for the team news. We're gonna be here all the way till the deadline. Let's wait for the team news. Fantasy Football Lad, thank you for subscribing. I'm good. How are you? I'm good. I'm hoping the server doesn't crash, you know. I know a lot of you guys are in positions where you have to wait for the team news, so I'm definitely gonna reveal the moment we see it on Instagram. I'm gonna put it up on screen so that you guys can decide. For my team, I think the only decisions left is whether I captain Haaland, if he starts, of course, whether I captain Haaland or I captain someone else, right? And I think I will have to start deciding who I'm gonna captain if Haaland doesn't start. I may captain Darwin Núñez though. I may captain Darwin Núñez if Haaland doesn't start. Let me know what you guys think about that. Pope, Gehi, Trippier, Ben White, Cancelo, Rashford, Zaha, Martinez, Saka, Haaland, Wilson. I think in your position, you could just go for Darwin Núñez, right? Solanke to Darwin and Ronaldo to Jesus. You have Ronaldo. Solanke to Darwin and Ronaldo, Jesus for -4. I think I wouldn't take a -4 for any of these players. So Solanke is fine to keep. I think you could make a case to go for Ronaldo to Darwin Núñez. Yeah. Skamaka or Martial just for this week? Martial for sure. Castagna or Dunk? Castagna. I'll go for Castagna. Oh, Fantasy Football that says you take a hit to go for Núñez. In that case, maybe Wilson to Firmino then. In that case, start one Webster, Neco Williams, Gehi, Webster. Right, I haven't actually streamed for that long. I think we're gonna go for another 1.5 hours. That's pretty long. But hopefully we can get to 3,000. Let's try. Trossard to Saka or Kulu? Kulu. Any suggestion on Chelsea assets? Trevor Chalobah. To be honest, I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go for Chelsea assets. But if you want to go for one, if you want to go for one. I wouldn't go for the defense for sure. For sure. Especially since they're playing Newcastle, I wouldn't go for the defense. Up front, I think the only one is Mason Mount. But nobody want to go there as well. I don't fancy Mason Mount doing that well. Castagna or Dunk? Castagna. Go for Sterling. Trossard or Almiron? Trossard. Will Mahrez start? I think we'll get news. We'll get news in a couple of hours time. In 1 hour. In 1 hour we're gonna get news. I'm just not sure if you guys would be able to hear if I play the news out loud though. Alright, for those of you who haven't already followed the account, make sure you go and follow the account so that you would get the leak, because that account is privated, so you probably would have to follow it to see. So this is the account, team news and ticks. So this is the account that literally crashed the FPL server. I mean this guy, I'm not sure if you guys, let me know if you guys can hear. Maybe I should play it and
Hi, thank you so much for coming. It's incredible.
Can you guys hear?
So beautiful to have so many of you to find this news from
Can you guys hear?
team news and ticks to give you a top advantage over your FPL rivals.
Let me know if you guys can hear that.
And the people like so many great content creators out there. I know it's important for you. It's so beautiful for me to give you.
Let me know if you guys could hear that. Right, that's not the latest one. That's last week's one. Right, don't get confused. That was last week's leak. But let me know if you guys can hear it in the chat. Hopefully this week it's not in a video form. We just want the information. Kavit says need some help here. Wilson to Martial and Jesus. Wilson to Martial and Jesus to Darwin for a -4, or Jesus to Firmino free transfer. I say you make the. I wouldn't sell Jesus to Firmino this week. So I would just do Wilson to Martial and that's it. Wilson to Martial, save your transfers. Don't take the -4. KDB to Salah. I think I would only consider that in your position if Haaland doesn't play. Alright, thank you guys for letting me know so you can hear it. Okay, so we're ready for later. We are ready for the news. Will you make a transfer Webster to Ben White or risk the team news of Foden starting? Foden and Kulu in your mind as well. I don't think I would do Webster to Ben White. So I say you keep Webster. If Foden doesn't play, then you do Foden to Kulu. Right, but if Foden plays, then maybe you can entertain the Webster to Ben White move if you have no other moves. Right, so we're ready for the leak. We are ready for the leak. Saka to Kulu. I don't think I would do that. Saka's on penalties. I don't think I would do Saka to Kulu. I think it's good for us. I think let's compare the punts. It's basically, I mean, Kulusevski has been super good. But we're looking at his numbers from past, from before, right? And let's say we talk about Saka, right? Saka is on penalties per 90. Saka has more shots in the box, more big chances, more expected goals. Yeah, and this is throughout the season. It's not just when Kulusevski is injured and his numbers are going down. I'll say Saka is the better asset. If you have Saka, you keep him. I think you keep Saka. Alright, go Gehi over Dunk. Gehi is at 51% now in the poll. 51%. Zuma is the lowest though. It seems like keeping him on the bench just makes sense. Saka also has a fairly low ownership, yeah, for sure. For sure. Much more of a differential. I think Kulusevski went down after he got injured. I think if Richarlison, Kulusevski and Kane all play, we could see a massacre though. We could see a massacre for Tottenham. Right, let's try something based on predictions for the games. Let's take a look at the predictions for the games, because later I think when the team news comes out, it's gonna be havoc. Let's take a look at the game by game. Right, put it up on the screen. So game by game, Man City is 82.5% to win Brentford. West Ham is at 50.5. That's pretty interesting. 50.5. Bournemouth 34. Liverpool 75. Tottenham 59. The thing is, if I don't have Haaland and if I'm in some of you guys' position, I assume I don't have Haaland. If I have Alvarez, if he starts, I think it's happy days. But if Alvarez doesn't start and if Haaland starts, I can't see myself going without Haaland. In which case, a -4 seems almost necessary if you're bringing Haaland back in. But Crystal Palace, if they can get something against Zaha, if Zaha can get something against Nottingham Forest, that'd be great as well. Newcastle 38% win Chelsea. Arsenal at 59.5. Right, Brighton are just so high to win Aston Villa. 50%. That's pretty much why I'm leaning towards starting Dunk as well. Like in general, when you pick up a couple of goals, you start to gain a little bit more confidence. I'm surprised you don't have Jesus. Fair enough though, Darwin is a risk. I'm okay to go without Jesus though. It seems like he's not converting a lot of the big chances. A lot of chances are falling to him, so he could do well, but he's just not converting. So which team do you support? Lionel says, I think he supports Arsenal. Unfortunately, I support Chelsea. We're not doing too well this season. We're not doing too well this season. Right, so what? Controller should be a dunk. Yeah, I think I'm fixed on dunk. So there's only a couple of decisions left to make. Which is whether I start Andreas ahead of Wilson and whether I captain Haaland or not. If I don't captain Haaland, I'm not sure who I would captain though. Who would you guys captain if Who would you guys captain if you're not captaining Haaland? Kavit says same here bro, Chelsea fan. That's nice to know. Do you think 4-4-2 formation is a risk? You're talking about it in terms of Liverpool playing a 4-4-2 formation? Or your FPL team being in a 4-4-2? Right, let's take a look at what people on Twitter are saying. In case we get any leaks, early leaks basically. Hurts to play players against Chelsea being a Chelsea fan. Don't know how other people are the fan. I mean, FPL is an objective game, right? Like, as much as I think it's important as supporters that we need to know the strengths of our team as well. Like, we gotta admit that if we're lacking in defense, if we're not scoring enough, right, we have to be objective and we need to know that as much as we are a fan, just playing the fantasy game wise, like, we have to make the objective decision. No, like having 4 defenders on FPL, I see. I think 4-4-2 is fine. I think your formation in general doesn't really matter. It's who you have in those positions. Positions. So if you're, right, if I scroll back, okay, I can't really see your team, but basically, your formation doesn't really matter. It's who you have in those positions. To my earlier question, if Trent already has Saliba, Trippier, Cancelo, KDB, Almiron, Trossard, Rashford, Solanke, Haaland, Darwin, who to bench or bring in instead of TAA? Saliba, Trippier, Cancelo. I think you go if with so much money in the bank. I think you go for an attacking change there. I'd be tempted to do that Trent move actually. Yeah, it seems like your Solanke, Darwin, and Haaland are fine. Rashford, Trossard, Almiron, KDB, they're all fine. Right, yeah, you could do a defensive move. You could bring Trent in. Perisic versus White. I say Ben White. I have Mount from game week 1 until now, except 2 weeks he returned double digits. He's a troll. I would have taken Mount out in maybe game week early on, I think. I take Mount out really early on. You shouldn't play FPL with your emotions. Yeah, 100%. 100%. right? We should just play based on the think clearly and know that even though you are a fan of the team, like take for example Manchester United, right? I have a couple of friends who are Manchester United fans, right? But they are also aware that at times they've fallen short in certain maybe certain aspects like defense or attack, right? Then they just go for players against their team. That's fine as well. It's just a game anyways, right? It's just a game. Should I use bench boost? Right, I know a lot of people are in positions where they have decent benches. And to be honest, I think when it comes to playing the bench boost, single game week bench boost could pay off as well. So I'm not opposed to it. But the thing is, in terms of a probability standpoint, when you have double the fixtures, you have 4 players on your bench. Now for a single game week, you only have 4 games for them. But if you use them on a double game week, that's 8 games in total. So just from a probability perspective, I would prefer that. But if your bench is really good, you would have to make that tough choice. But I think in general, I would favor a double game week bench boost. What's your advice for me this week? Gaeta, Cancelo, Trippier, Ben White, Martinelli, Zaha, Salah, KDB. Definitely. Okay, firstly is to wait for team news because Alvarez may or may not start. Right, so let's see later on. But I would say if Alvarez starts and you're okay to go without Haaland, then you can do Mitrovic to maybe you could do Mitrovic to Martial. But the thing is whether you are able to stomach not going without Haaland. How's your weekend gonna be like? My starting 11 is Alisson, Trippier, Cancelo, Saliba, Castagne, De Bruyne, Almiron. Yeah, I think this is a fine starting 11. They're pretty alright. 4-4. It's not so much the formation, it's more the players, and your players are alright. Liverpool are gonna lose 1-0 Southampton. What proud angry. No right or wrong to use the bench boost now. Right. If your bench is really good, right, you would have to make the decision, but ideally in terms of a probability standpoint, right, I would go for the double game week bench boost. Would you sell Wilson for a hit for Martial? No, I wouldn't. I would start maybe Andreas, who's on your bench. Right, we hit 2.9 subscribers. We're 100 subscribers away from 3,000. We have about 1 hour and 10 minutes. Hopefully we can get there. Currently on Dalvin, Haaland, Alvarez, hoping Haaland to start so I can do Alvarez to Martial. If Alvarez starts and then can do that, I can't sell Haaland values too much. Yep. We'll get the team news later on, Fazli, and we'll see. Even if there are double game weeks, it doesn't mean that the chips you use will be effective. That's true as well. Right? That's true as well. So it's just solely based on a probability standpoint, but that's a fair point as well. Last season, FPL Focal, he played a bench boost on a single game week, right? Similar to this situation, I think, where your bench is pretty good. I think his bench at that point in time was pretty decent, and he did quite well. So, for sure, I think I'm not stuck on the fact that I must use the chip in a double game week, right? But just in terms of the fixtures moving forward in the future, if there's a good chance to use it, right? I could consider. I'm not opposed to a single game week one as well. Thoughts on Skamaka? I think he starts. Possible that we see Skamaka and Antonio start together. Possible. I don't know if I should do Wilson to Nunes or Mitrovic to Solanke or Martial. Wilson to Nunes is probably the most popular move this week. Start Saliba or Castagne. I would start Saliba. yeah, honestly don't have a stomach to go without Haaland. What should I do? If you can't go without Haaland, right? Let me scroll back to your team. If you can't go without Haaland, right? Let's say we get news that Alvarez and Haaland starts. You could take De Bruyne out so that you can free up funds for Mitrovic up to Haaland. That's one way. Let's say Alvarez doesn't start, then you could do Alvarez out for Haaland, and find funds elsewhere, right? Try to find funds in maybe Wilson or Mitrovic. If you really can't, then maybe Kevin De Bruyne. So those are your options. I probably would have a flow chart out. Start Saliba, Castagna, Saliba. Sure, we get the team news, but the server will go down again for the third time. Honestly, like if I had to make a move this week, I would probably get it ready. Maybe in something like this, right? Where I get the player in ready. Let's say I want to bring Salah in. I get him ready. I put it in like this. I stand by my button to make transfer. You know? Right, let me reset this. Right. Okay, take for example in my position, let's say I want to do Haaland to Kane, right? Let's say. Like for you guys, I will do this, then I'll ready my mouse over the make transfers button, right? Let's hope I don't click it now, but basically I hover my mouse around that button, and then once we get the news, we see the leaks, and then we just straight away press make transfer. That's how I would go about doing it if I was in your position, right? But my team for this game week, they're pretty alright. I don't see myself taking a hit. Yeah, I don't see myself taking a hit this week. Right. Should I start Trippier, Dyer, Gehi? Trippier for sure. Right, if it's one out of the three, then Trippier for sure. Skamaka or Martial, can you check the numbers on them? I don't think the numbers would actually make too much of a difference, to be honest. Right, Martial has played so little. The numbers won't be accurate to kind of let us know whether Martial is a good pick or not. Right, in terms of Skamaka or Martial, if Martial's minutes were confirmed, I would go for Martial. But the problem is, I think if you feel he starts, I think you can go there. Wilson to Darwin and Mitrovic to Solanke for a -4. I wouldn't take a -4 to bring Darwin Núñez in. I wouldn't take a -4 for that. -4 is only a -2 if your players play 60 minutes without a card or anything. Thing is, this week I think people's benches are pretty strong. You could just go without. If you take a hit, you're already kind of banking on the fact that this maybe a defender that you bring in, right, has to get a clean sheet already to pay off your hit. If you bring in an attacker, he needs to get a return to pay the hit back. Right, that's even before he gains you any points. Thoughts on Bowen to Kulu or Andreas to Kulu for a -4? I think you start Bowen, you don't have to take the -4. Ronaldo not going to start. Martial, Garnacho, Rashford, Ilanga, the only forward. Yeah, that's one of the things. I think they were saying that Ronaldo wasn't going to start. He was going to get ready for the World Cup, etc., etc. So we could see Martial up front, but the only thing that's putting me off Martial is that he is currently just coming off the bat of 60 minutes against Aston Villa. So we will have to be careful with that. I'm chilling in rank 4 million. Hakuna Matata. Long way more of the season to go though. Long way more. Thoughts on Pope to another keeper if happy with the 11? I think Pope to another keeper is completely fine. Yeah. It's completely fine. If you're happy with the rest of your players, a keeper transfer for this one game week, I think is justified. I did Darwin in for Mitrovic on 7th November. That was pretty early. I didn't want to get priced out, and I was pretty confident on the minutes. So transfer's already been made. And let's see if I start Andreas ahead of Wilson. I think I pretty much set on Dunk starting, so that's where we're gonna go with Dunk. It's just a matter of whether I start Andreas ahead of Wilson or not. So who do you recommend? Not sure if there's a lot of keeper options, to be fair. Pope is at 5.2, 5.3, let's say. If you have enough funds, I will go up to Alisson. Right, just point one more. I will go for Alisson. Start Pope or Alisson? For sure, I start Alisson. Yeah. If our players are going to drop in price as a result of the deadline transfers, move them out, save some cash. Prices are only frozen after the deadline. Yeah, 100%. Like the stream. Yeah. For those of you guys that are here, please help me like the stream as well so that we can spread the word and hopefully get to 3,000 subscribers. I think, we just dropped below 2.9 again. Right, so we're going to need another 100 subscribers. Hopefully you can get there. If we can't, at least it was a nice last push. Thoughts on my team? Goalkeeper is Pope, defender is Webster, Cancelo, Trippier, midfielder is Trossard, Salah, Martinelli, Bowen, attackers Alvarez and Haaland, Solanke. No free transfers. I think your team is fine. You wait for the leaks and you decide whether you need to make any other moves, right? But I think your team looks pretty much alright. Right. Drop the like. Thank you very much. Right, the turnout is as expected. Not as immense as last week. Right, last week I think there were no other people streaming while I was streaming about the same time like now. So now a lot of the other YouTubers are streaming as well. So that's probably why. We can't get those numbers, but I think it's fine. Right? I think it's fine. We're just trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. Hopefully we can. Do you know if Martial will start? I think his minutes are a little bit of a risk. So we'll have to wait and see. Wilson to Jesus on a free, for sure. I would definitely do Wilson to Jesus for a free. To play Almiron, I have to drop one of Trossard, Rashford, Martinelli and Foden. I don't really like to drop any one of them, to be fair. I wouldn't drop any one of them. I'd actually bench Almiron. Provided Foden starts. Yeah. Should I do Foden and Mitrovic to Bailey and Kane? If you have two free transfers, Kane is a massive upgrade though. So it could be justified if you have 2 free transfers, yeah. But that's only if Foden doesn't play though. If Foden plays, I think we should be starting him. Right. Let's take a look at whether there are any leaks. Let's see if there's any early team leaks, right? It would be super early as of now. Wow. Wow. We have a leak. We have a leak. 5:37. This week is early. KDB benched. Right. Let's oh my days. Let's take a look. Right. Okay. So this is team news and ticks. So this is basically the account that has been super consistent with their. Just let me be sure that this is the correct account though. Team news and ticks, yeah. Okay, this is the correct account. 13 minutes ago, KDB benched. Tony, Foden and Haaland start. What do we do? Whew. Do I take a -4 then? Right, to play Almiron. Oh, right. Should I do Foden and Mitchell? Foden starts now, according to team news and ticks. Oh my days. Around what time are we gonna get any team leaks? It seems like it's now. Right, let me check the Instagram. Wow. Wait. Hold on. That's not the original one. That's a fake. Okay? That's a fake. Oh my days, that was a fake. This is the original one. Team news and ticks with a single X. Correct. This is the fake. That was a fake. That was a fake. Oh my days. Kevin De Bruyne not starting would force me to take a -4. Then. Whew. Why do people do that though? Right, it is the account with one X, alright. Why do people do that? Oh my days. That was a shocker. I would be really surprised if Kevin De Bruyne doesn't start. To be honest, I can't see Kevin De Bruyne not starting. FF Scout Luke has a prediction. I think his predictions are pretty good for Manchester City. Right. His predictions are pretty good for Manchester City. So this is his predictions. Of course he caveats a little bit, right? He says Mahrez for width is entirely possible. Grealish played well, etc. Haaland and Alvarez, who knows, right? But for now, this is what he thinks is the starting lineup. So this is just a prediction, right? So maybe I don't put it too big, but it's a prediction that Foden, De Bruyne and Haaland all start, right? So make of that what you will, right? It is a prediction. It is a prediction, right? We will look at the leaks later on, but for now, I think I agree with his predictions. To be fair, I agree with his predictions. Still got 52 minutes, yeah. Salah or KDB, hold on. Wait for the team news. Do we have unlimited transfers after this game week? Yes, you do. You do have unlimited transfers after this game week, but the thing is, your transfers will be counted. Your transfers will be counted. So, you will have to make sure that you don't make too many transfers because the limit is 38 transfers, right? And on top of that, if you are tied with your mini league rivals, transfers actually count to who would be ahead. So I suggest you use like other transfer planners like FPL.team, FPL planner, plan.fpl. They're all really good. Martinez or Van Dijk. Right, those of you who saw that moment just now, that was a scare. Okay, my predicted lineup is that De Bruyne and Haaland would both start. Alvarez could also start together with Haaland, right? I don't think it's a case where if Haaland starts that Alvarez is 100% ruled out, right? And as for Foden, I think it's 50-50 as well. So I say that Haaland and De Bruyne are likely to start. Foden and Alvarez are wait and see. That's my predictions. Did he delete his tweet? No, that's a fake account. That is a fake account that is circulating on Twitter. Don't trust those accounts. I've been refreshing the actual account, the actual team news and ticks account. So let's wait and see. Martinez or Van Dijk? Yeah, Van Dijk. If everyone holds again, I'm deleting my FPL account. Mitrovic replacement. There's a couple. If you can go up, then Darwin Núñez. If you can't, if you have to go somewhere around the same price bracket, then there's Skamaka. Lower down there is Solanke as well. Do you think Wilson will start? I think there's a good chance he starts. Foden or Trossard. If Foden starts, right, we will get news. So if he starts, I much prefer Foden. If he starts. Wow, that was a scare. I'm still like recovering from that. Oh my goodness. Twitter is such a toxic place. I would totally delete Twitter if not for team leaks. I don't think there's a need to be on Twitter. Start Gehi or Webster or both. I wouldn't start Gehi if I could go elsewhere, but I would start Webster. I think he's fine. Twitter is just absolutely insane. Like the number of leaks, fake leaks that have been coming out is just ridiculous. I'm only gonna show you guys the real one. Like I'm gonna make sure it's the real one and then we display it so that people don't get confused. Solanke or Almiron? Solanke. Martial start first or CR7? I feel like Martial would start, but there is a risk. Right, there is a risk, but I feel Martial will start. Zaha or Almiron, Zaha. We're reaching the deadline though. I think it starts to get tense in about 15 minutes time. He hasn't Team News and Tix hasn't even said like where he's gonna reveal it, whether he's gonna tweet it or whether he is going to put it on Instagram. We don't know yet. It is starting to get tense, to be honest. It is starting to get tense. Right. I think we have a good couple of minutes. Let's just do some predictions. So right. Hold on, let me set it up. Okay. Insert image. All right. What do you guys think of the results? Okay, let me move over to right. So these are the games. I think we go for Man City and Brentford first. How do you guys think that game is going to turn out? I say City. I say clean sheet. So Brentford probably 0. I say we go for 4 or 5. I say 4-0. Right. 4 MCI. This is my predictions for City against Brentford. I think this is the score. Bournemouth against Everton. With no Calvert-Lewin, I think Everton couldn't. I don't think they pose as much of a threat. Thing is, Bournemouth are quite leaky as well. I think maybe they pull off one goal. But Bournemouth at home, I kind of fancy them as well. Maybe Solanke could get something as well. Right, so I say 2 for Bournemouth, maybe 1 for Everton. Right, let me know what you guys think of the predictions. So for now, Liverpool and Southampton. I say a clean sheet is pretty likely there. So I will go for. I don't think Liverpool will smash though. I don't think they smash. I think they go for maybe 2. Hopefully Darwin Núñez gets something. I say 0 for Southampton. That's my predictions. Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace. What are we thinking? What do you guys think? Solanke or Martial? Martial. Much prefer Martial. I say Liverpool 2, Southampton 0. Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace is a tricky one. I say Crystal Palace can get a goal, but I think Nottingham Forest scores as well. I'm gonna go bold this one. I'm gonna go bold. I'm gonna go 2-2. I'm gonna go 2-2. Someone says 1-2. Is that for the Nottingham Forest one or the Crystal Palace one? Sorry, Nottingham Forest one or the Liverpool one? They're both leaky in defense though. Forest and Crystal Palace. They're both leaky in defense. Any news regarding Haaland and Foden playing or not? We're gonna get it soon. We're gonna get it soon. Yeah, not yet. Spurs against Leeds. I say Spurs leak a couple of goals though. Right. Sharvin says for 1-2. Right. So you think Crystal Palace wins 2-1? Right, that could be the case. Spurs and Leeds. I think for sure I'd have to favour Spurs here, but I say Leeds get a couple as well. I say 3-1. For Spurs. I say 3-1 for Spurs. Right, West Ham and Leicester. That one could go 0-0 though. I'm gonna go. Thing is, I have Zuma on the bench, but I actually think it could be 0-0. So I'm gonna put it here, and if it does happen, I can watch the stream back again and be sad. Newcastle and Chelsea. That's also another tough one. What do you guys think? Newcastle and Chelsea. Perisic, Firmino, Gehi, Walt on the bench. Should I bench Boost? That is quite a strong bench, to be honest. I would be tempted to bench Boost actually, but it depends who your starting 11 players are. Like if you have those fellas on the bench, who do you have in your starting 11? Rodrigo or Almiron? Almiron. Right, what do you guys think of Newcastle and Chelsea? I'm actually not confident of Chelsea scoring. Like being a Chelsea fan myself, I'm not confident of Chelsea scoring. I actually say Newcastle 1, Chelsea 0. What do you guys think? I say Newcastle 1, Chelsea 0. Wolves and Arsenal, I think it's pretty easy. I'm gonna put 0 for Wolves. It's just a matter of how many Arsenal get. So I'd say 2-3. I'd say 2. Brighton and Aston Villa. Right, I'm gonna go for Brighton and Aston Villa. Right, a couple of you guys agree as well. Easy win for Newcastle. Right, 1 Newcastle, 1 Chelsea 0. Yeah, I think Newcastle 1 Chelsea 0 is a very likely score. Wolves 0, Arsenal 2. Eric says Newcastle for sure. He's a Chelsea fan as well. Same here. I'm also a Chelsea fan, but we have to be realistic, right? Newcastle are the team in form, and our defense just hasn't been that good. At all. Right, Brighton and Aston Villa. What do you guys think? I think that one's pretty tough. Let me know what you guys think. Question is, does Aston Villa score? I think Aston Villa doesn't score. Maybe. Right, I say Brighton clean sheet. So I say 2 for Brighton. Right, if we come back and the predictions are pretty accurate, we can do this every week then. Usually soccer doesn't go like that though. Or football doesn't go like that. Right, Fulham and Newcastle. I'm actually predicting Newcastle to do Fulham and Manchester United. I'm actually predicting Fulham to get a couple, right? But just one to be safe. I say that Fulham get one, right? But I think Manchester United get three. Right, so these are my predictions. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Right, so this is what I think is likely. Right, but as always, FPL just finds a way to play with us. Right, let's take a look at the team again. Who would you choose? Right, did I answer the previous one? Wilson and Nunes. Wilson to Nunes, Foden to Saka, or Mitrovic to Nunes, and Wilson to Solanke. I think because it involves Foden, we wait a while. Because it involves Foden, I say we wait. But I don't mind the other one as well. Yeah, so if Foden starts, I think you do Nunes to Wilson. Sorry, you do Mitrovic to Nunes, Wilson to Solanke. Who would you choose? Saka, Zaha, Kulusevski, Madison. For this week, I think I would prefer Kulusevski, to be honest. I think he's a really good differential this week. Just that I can't get to him. I don't see a move for me. Aston Villa has been scoring goals lately. Yeah, I agree. But the thing is, like the form that Brighton are in, I would say they keep a couple. I would say they keep a clean sheet. Right, even though Aston Villa have been scoring, they're still in an adjustment phase, I feel. But that could be famous last words though. Who would you have as first up, Andreas or Gehi? If both of them are on your bench, put Andreas as first up. Yeah. Aston Villa has 6 goals in the last 2 games under new management. Yeah, 100%. I know they've been scoring a lot, right? It's just that against Brighton at the MX, I would expect that they would be a little bit tighter. If the predictions are correct next week, Singapore pools. Let's take a look though. Let's take a look tonight. Already 8 games would have been played by the end of tonight. So will Perisic play as the second forward? I actually don't think so. I think most of the Spurs forums predict that Richarlison and Kulusevski would return to the starting 11. In which case, Perisic will probably play left wing back. Yeah. Just predictions though. Right, let's check if there's other news. Right, we have a tweet. So this is the latest. And once again, this is the official one. This is the one that we can rely on, okay? So 10:45 UK time on the Instagram account. 10:45 UK time. So we're gonna get ready. This is the Instagram account. Go and follow it if you guys aren't already. The server is gonna crash again, isn't it? The server is gonna crash again. Like, I just see it happening. I just see it happening already. He's cutting it close this week. Last week was 20 minutes before the deadline. And this week is 15 minutes before the deadline. He's cutting it real close, guys. He's cutting it real close. I have Firmino and Foden. Should I bring in Darwin, Núñez, and Maddison? I say you wait for the team news. Wait for the team news. It's on the screen, right? We're gonna have team news in 15 minutes, right? Didn't know so many people have Gehi, but when I checked total ownership, it's only 3.5. I think a couple of people have Anderson as well. The Crystal Palace defense was, I mean, they won a really good run, so I would expect people to have Zaha, people to have the cheap defenders as well. Martial or Firmino, I prefer Martial for this week, to be honest. De Bruyne to Foden, Wilson to Núñez for a -4, or Wilson to Firmino no hit. I actually wouldn't take a -4, so I would do Wilson to Firmino, but that's only if I have Jesus. I think Wilson to Jesus is a better move than Wilson to Firmino. Start Gehi or Webster? Webster. I'll start Webster. Alright guys, we're 15 minutes. We're 15 minutes away, guys. I actually think, yeah, he's gonna leak it 15 minutes before and the site is gonna crash. Like, it is just going to happen. Get your teams ready. Get your teams ready. Right, let me just refresh to be sure. There's not gonna be any refreshing later on. Later we refresh and it's basically a crashed server. So, right, Ward in goal. We're gonna go for Cancelo, Trippier, Dunk. I'm pretty set on Dunk now. De Bruyne, Rashford, Zaha, Martinelli, Haaland, Wilson, Darwin, Captain, Haaland. Right, so I think the key decision I have to make is if De Bruyne is benched. I think I'd be in trouble there. I may have to take a -4 for Salah. I may have to take a -4 for Salah if De Bruyne is benched. Chances are I don't think he's benched. But I'm getting a bit nervous now, that's for sure. I'm getting a bit nervous. Say De Bruyne doesn't start though. And I don't want to bring Salah in. I could start Andreas and maybe captain. If Haaland plays, I captain Haaland. If Haaland doesn't play, I captain Darwin. This is tense now. Are you watching for news? Ben Vlogs. Yes, I am. I am watching for news. You thinking Martial will start? I think Martial will start. It's a bit of a risk, but I think Martial will start. It's getting tense now. If it's gonna be another video, like, I don't know what to say. If it's gonna be another video, he's gonna make us watch through 2 to 3 minutes and waste more time. But what can we do? I think he's our most reliable league already. Okay, I think there's no point looking at this one now. Right, let's just focus on the Instagram account. Just keep refreshing and refreshing. Thankfully, Instagram isn't gonna crash. Okay, we're ready for it. We're just gonna leave it on here all the way until 15 minutes before. Wilson to Martial, you got any Wilson news? I don't have any Wilson news, but I think Wilson to Martial is a fair transfer. Currently at 347k overall, don't have Salah and Haaland for this game week. This is scary. I would strongly suggest to have either one though, Ashmit. I would strongly suggest to have either one. If that would be too... I think you don't watch the the games. I think you don't watch the games, you just hide. Sanchez or Ward? Sanchez or Ward? I will go for Sanchez. My team is Pope, Cancelo, Trent, Trippier, Salah, Almiron, Martinelli, Zaha, Haaland, Nunes, Solanke, the bench of. Should I just burn a transfer? I don't think so. I think you do a keeper transfer. Your team looks good, so I think you do a keeper transfer from maybe Pope to Alisson. Pope to Alisson should be fine. I wonder where he gets the leaks. Beats me, man. I wonder as well. But he's so reliable. He is so reliable. Ten minutes. I think it's getting stressful now. What are you guys' moves? Let me know what you guys are thinking. What are your moves before what are your moves before the leaks come out? Like, do you have your flow chart ready? Do you have your transfers ready? Like, honestly, I suggest you already go to the transfers page and already put those players in case you want to make those transfers. Let's say you want to do De Bruyne to Salah, you already go to the transfers page, bring Salah in, and get ready to make transfers the moment you see anything that gives a hint. I'm just ready for the site to crash anytime soon. I'm not sure if it's already crashed already. Can't be. When the news comes out, maybe a couple of minutes and it's gonna crash. So we gotta be quick. Would you bring in Xhaka or Solanke? Solanke. He's on pens, 90 minutes guaranteed. I'd say Solanke. I only have 0.1 in the bank, so I can't do Pope to anyone above 5.3 million. Right, very quickly. Goalkeepers. Ramsdale then. Ramsdale. Oh, unless you have triple Arsenal. Martinelli. Yeah, go for Ramsdale. Josh, you could go for Ramsdale. Right. 37. The news is coming. You know what I think? I think at this point, he already has the information. I say at this point, he already has the information, and he's just giving it to this guy. I have no idea who he is, but I think he's just giving it to this guy here to film his impression. I say the news is already out. Right, Toby says, for me, I'll just take a punt again. Taking Haaland as captain won't increase your rank. That's fair, but at the same time, if you don't captain him and he hauls, then that would be a bit dangerous. So you could punt, but I think like Ashmit is going without Salah and Haaland. I think that is a bit dangerous. Like I'd have at least one, obviously, depending on whether Haaland starts or not, right? Right, I may have to. Let's say Kevin De Bruyne is benched. I think I'd have to bring Salah in for a hit. In which case, I would still captain Haaland and I would vice captain Salah. So that's what I would do. I think that's pretty much. So I have to get ready. Bench Almiron, Trossard, Zaha or Martinelli. Almiron. Right, 5 minutes. Get your transfers ready, get your teams ready. Get everything ready. This is tense. Right, it's still working now, so get everything ready for you to press make transfer. Ashmin hopes Haaland is benched. I'm actually rethinking it a bit now. I'm actually rethinking a little bit. I'm thinking maybe if De Bruyne doesn't start, I think I go without Salah. I don't think I'll go for Salah. I think if De Bruyne doesn't start, I bench him. I start Andreas, KDB for sub, and yeah, I wouldn't take a -4. I don't think I would do it now. Yeah. I mean, if Haaland is benched, I would still start him. So it's just a matter of whether De Bruyne is starting or not. Bazinga says Wilson or Anderson. I start Wilson. On my transfer page right now, ready to click on KDB to Salah for a -4. Get ready, guys. Get ready. Done Pope to Ramsdale, captaining Haaland unless I hear otherwise. Well, Josh, we're gonna hear it very soon. Most likely will crash, so be ready. This guy single-handedly crashes FPL. Guys, come on. Right, 4 minutes. I honestly cannot. I cannot even imagine. What happens. The server is gonna crash the minute we get news. I tell you, the minute we get news, it's gonna crash. Downgrade Trent or Saka for Darwin Núñez. I wouldn't. I just wouldn't bring him in. Zayat says Mitrovic out for Martial or Koulibaly out for Perisic. Mitrovic out for Martial. Yeah. Sanchez or Ward to start? Sanchez. Right. Just in case he posts early, we gotta refresh, you know. All good, Zayat, all good. By the way, if you guys are here, please help me out and like the stream and also subscribe. We're trying to hit 3,000. I don't know whether we can hit it, to be honest. Like, maybe the dream is over. I don't know. Maybe the dream is over. We're at 2,913 now. Thank you, Mark, for subscribing. We're trying to get to 3,000, so hopefully we can. Gaeta or Ward? I would start Gaeta if it's Gaeta or Ward. Best defender for this week. If you're bringing in one, then Trent. You think Martial will start? I think Martial will start. Right, guys. I think we have to keep it on this screen already. We have to keep it here. And we're gonna watch I think we're gonna watch a short clip. I say it's a clip again. Get ready your moves. Get ready everything. This is intense. If Haaland doesn't start, I'll be very surprised. Maybe KDB bench, Foden start. I mean, if Kevin De Bruyne is benched, I'd be in trouble. He's gained 1,000 subscribers in the matter of like 1,000 followers in a matter of like minutes. Right. 44. He's getting tense now. It's 45. It's 45. Where is the leak? Where is the leak? Where is the leak? Come on. Where is the leak? Oh, okay, it's out. Hold on, let me unmute it.
You don't know me yet, but I'm not starting tomorrow.
Hello, I'm David McGinty, and I'm not starting.
Yo, I go by the name of Ronnie Winters. You can catch me on Instagram. I've got some new music coming. So Ronnie Winters music, yeah? I've got the starting 11 for you, but unfortunately today I ain't starting. But listen, follow leaked lineups and get everything first. Right?
I'm Arnold Lowe and I'm not starting.
What is going on?
Hello, I'm Luke Charity. Today, I'm not starting.
Hi, I'm Jack Stein, and I'm definitely not starting.
Alright. I'm Jake Sims, and I'm not starting today.
Hi, this is Jugger, and I won't be starting.
What is going on?
Charles Bradford. I'm not starting.
Hi, I'm Daniel Nederev, and I'm not starting.
Hello, I'm Erling Haaland with a dodgy Cockney accent for some reason, and I can tell you, I am starting.
Haaland starts.
I asked my mate Phil to come and do this, but I can't find him. But he's starting as well.
Foden starts.
Hi, I'm Cal Freezy, and I am not selected.
Right. Foden starts, Haaland starts. Foden starts, Haaland starts. So, Foden starts, Haaland starts. That's not a troll. That's not a troll. That's not a troll. Guys, this is not a troll. I mean, last week he did the Luke Camper impression. This is legit. This is as legit as it gets. It's just it looks like a troll. Right. So Captain Haaland, Vice Captain De Bruyne. I think I'm okay with this. Yeah, I think we're good to go. I'm just gonna refresh the page to see if the site has already crashed. Wow, they improved it. Right, it's not crashed. Get your transfers in. Haaland starts, Foden starts. Haaland starts, Foden starts. Yeah, nothing about KDB. Nothing about KDB, but I think KDB is pretty... My gut feeling is that he starts. Right, my gut feeling is that he starts. No news about KDB. Only news about Haaland and news about news about Haaland, news about Foden. I'm gonna pin it on the chat in case anyone comes in. Haaland and Foden start. Haaland and Foden start, guys. It's in the pin chat. Right, I'll close the poll as well. Haaland and Foden start, okay? Foden in. So for those of you guys with Foden, don't transfer him out. Don't transfer Foden out. Right, don't transfer Foden out. Hi. Site is laggy now. Toby says site is laggy. Get your transfers in. The site is starting to get laggy already. I think it wouldn't crash as much because I would assume most people already have Haaland. It's not like last week where they're rushing to transfer him out. I would think this week a couple of people already have him. So I don't expect the site to crash too much. Captain Haaland or Salah, best choice. Captain Haaland. Captain Haaland. I would Captain Haaland. If he starts, we Captain Haaland. Who to start, Castagna or Gordon? I would start Gordon. Bring in Haaland, I need to start KDB out. Should I do that? Maybe Kulu in. I say KDB starts. As in I do think that KDB starts. It's just it wasn't revealed. He's only talking about Haaland and Foden. Right? He's only talking about Haaland and Foden, but I think KDB starts. Right? No confirmation. But I wouldn't be transferring De Bruyne out. KDB to Foden, Wilson to Darwin, -4 done. Fair enough. If you guys think that De Bruyne don't start, you can do that. I'm not even sure if the site has already crashed. Let me know if you guys are able to make your transfers. Right, it seems like it's pretty alright. The site has improved, I think. Right, so hopefully you guys can make your transfers. Let me just make sure on Twitter that everyone is on the same page. Yeah, Erling Haaland and Phil Foden both start. That is the news this week. KDB starts according to Sam. Is that right? Thanks for pointing out, Bosco. Hold on, let me check. This account is really reliable as well. Alright. KDB starts, guys. Thanks for pointing out, Bosco. KDB starts. This is a reliable source as well. Right, so KDB starts. So I see no reason why you should take Kevin De Bruyne out at this point. KDB starts. Thanks for pointing out, Bosco. That is a savior. Kevin De Bruyne or Salah captain. If you if you don't have Haaland, then I say you captain Salah. But if you have Haaland, you captain Haaland. Also done KDB to Foden and Wilson to Darwin. Risky, but I'm down for the thrill. Is Alvarez starting? I don't have any news. So basically what we know is, I'm gonna pin it now. Haaland, KDB, Foden, all start. KDB starts. Salah for De Bruyne. I wouldn't do that. Right, Bosco, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. This is a savior. Do I know anything about Wilson? No, we don't know anything about Wilson. Right, I'm gonna leave it on this page here. Start Doherty or Estupinian. I think Doherty is benched this week. I say he's benched, so I will start Estupinian. Snowball, good luck. Yeah, good luck as well. Gehi or Andreas, I would start Andreas. Best wildcard squad. I think it's a little bit too late for that. Kevin De Bruyne starts as well. We are in for business. I'm gonna leave this one here because I know Team News and Ticks did not speak about De Bruyne, so I'm gonna leave it here. What are the odds that Haaland and Salah blank? Ashmit, I honestly think that is low. Start or bench Solanke. Depends who you're playing him for though, if you start him. Who you're benching in his position. Thanks bro, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. For those of you here, please subscribe. Right, but don't do that now. Prioritize your transfers first. Should I start Andreas Pereira over Wilson to be safe or not? I'm starting Wilson, right? Let me just quickly switch it over. I'm starting Wilson. I'm starting Wilson and Andreas is on the bench. Worth triple captaining on anyone or keep it? Keep it, keep it, keep it. I would say keep it. Keep it. Keep it. Keep up the great work. Onward to 3K subs. Thank you, Mark. Guys, we are 80 subscribers away. I'm not sure if you can hit it, but it was worth the stream today. It was definitely worth the stream. That was fun. That was fun. Hopefully you guys got your transfers in. Guys, come on. Get those transfers in before the deadline. Site isn't crashing, so we should be able to get those transfers in. Start Almiron or Anderson? I would start Almiron. Bosco says, wish we will get 3K subs before the World Cup. Hopefully we can get there. Hopefully we can get there. Thanks for the advice. Wish you luck. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Right, this is... Right, just let me confirm my team for a moment. Ward, Cancelo, Trippier, Dunk. De Bruyne, Rashford, Zaha, Martinelli. So all of a sudden, this looks really good. Like, the only player I don't have is Salah. All of a sudden, this team looks really good. Ward, Cancelo, Trippier, Dunk. Ward, Cancelo, Trippier, Dunk. De Bruyne, Rashford, Zaha, Martinelli. Darwin Núñez, Wilson, and Haaland. Okay, the only decision left now, I think there's 4 minutes for me to make this choice. Andreas ahead of Wilson. I think I'll start Wilson. I think I'll start Wilson. I think I'll start Wilson. What do you guys think though? Will you guys start Andreas or Wilson? Let me know. 4 minutes, 4 minutes. Those who are in the chat, please let me know. Will you start Andreas or Wilson? Yeah, agreed. Big Daddy, Foden or Madison? Foden, he's starting. Foden. Do you think I should start Dyer over Saliba? For sure not. I would definitely not do that. Saliba over Dyer any day. Would you play Webster over Wilson? No, I wouldn't. Webster, Gehi, Webster. Guys, you guys are telling me Andreas. Guys. We sure Wilson's playing? 3 minutes. Should I make the change? Okay. Let's think about it before I save. Right, let's think about it. If Wilson starts against Chelsea, some of you guys thinking Wilson is gonna start as well. I honestly think that if Wilson starts, now Manchester United have been pretty good in defense. So I think I leave it. But thanks for your response though. I think I leave it. Pope or Ward. If you're starting Trippier like me, I'm just trying to spread the risk. Guys, 1 minute. Wilson to Martial. Sure, Wilson to Martial is fine. Is Odsonne Edouard starting? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Do you think Trossard the Kulusevski is worth a -4? No, for sure no. Alright. I think we're locked though. I think we're gonna be locked soon. Thankfully, I haven't had to do any last minute transfers on stream. Thankfully, we didn't have to make any transfers. Right, the deadline is coming already. Right, hopefully you guys manage to lock your teams in. I don't think Wilson will come on as a sub. You start him. If he doesn't play, Andreas on the bench is great. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me of my my logic. Thank you very much. Alright. Hopefully you guys manage to get your transfers in. Last game week before the season. Right, I'm gonna leave it as is. I'm gonna leave it on this screen. I'm going to leave it on this screen. But I think the deadline is over, if I'm not wrong. Are we past the deadline, guys? Are we past the deadline? Oh, yep. Deadline. Right. Let's I'll stream until we get the Man City news, which is in half an hour's time. I'll stream until we get the Man City news. Wishing everyone green arrows. If you guys are here, hopefully you guys will get your green arrows. Hopefully you guys will get your green arrows. Alright, for those of you here, please subscribe so that you can get to 3,000. Hopefully we can get there. Hopefully we can get there, but I think in the last 30 minutes, maybe not. In the last 30 minutes, maybe not. This is the team though. This is the team. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We did 2.5 hours today. So pretty long, but thank you guys for staying. Really appreciate you guys coming down to check out the stream and just basically chat about FPL together. Right, so we're past the deadline. You guys can pretty much just ask me whatever. I think for those of you who are still here, you can just ask me whatever. I would probably do a Q&A during the World Cup. For those of you who are interested, I would probably do maybe if I hit 3,000, I would probably do a 3,000 subscribers Q&A. Hopefully we can hit that soon. But basically, I'll just share a little bit more for those of you guys who are interested. A little bit more about my background, share a little bit more about myself, basically, if you guys would be interested in that. So hopefully you guys are keen for that. Right, let me just check on Twitter. What time is it where you live? It's 7:30 p.m. So I'm in Singapore. So it's 7:30 p.m. And the deadlines usually come in the evening for me. So yeah. Eric signed up for a membership. Thank you so much, Eric, for becoming a member. It really means a lot. Right, let's take a look at what other people are saying. Right, thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks, Owen, for tuning in. Let's Talk FPL has done Alvarez to Jesus. Lots of noise that Haaland starts. sends a lot of people with 100 plus points. I think this week could be a high scoring game week if Haaland pops off. I would say that a lot of people will be captaining Haaland. Bro, do you stay up all night to watch the matches? Actually, I do. I do stay up to watch the matches. Yeah. Thanks for the great content. Thank you very much. Thanks for the membership as well, Eric. Really, really means a lot. Then you actually have a decent time of deadline. Deadlines here in Colombia usually 4 5 a.m. That's the thing, you see. If people would have to wake up so early in other parts of the world, FPL is a global game. FPL is a global game, and if you're going to make people have to wake up so early just for team leagues, I think that may not be very fair, you know? I think that may not be very fair. So to be honest, I am hoping that they will do something about the deadline. Yeah, I am hoping they do something about the deadline. Right. There is a couple of other leagues. Honestly, guys, honestly, this is incredible. This team news and ticks is incredible. Thanks, Michael. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Right, honestly, this is incredible. Like this is just incredible.
Hi, I'm Cal Freezy, and I am not selected.
You don't know me yet, but I'm not starting tomorrow.
Hello, I'm David McGinty, and I'm not starting.
This is incredible.
I go by the name of Ronnie Winters. You can catch me on Instagram. I've got some new music coming. So Ronnie Winters music. Yeah. I've got the starting 11 for you, but unfortunately today I ain't starting. But listen, follow leaked lineups to get everything first.
I'm Aldo and I'm not starting.
It's just incredible.
Hello, I'm Luke Charlie. Today, I'm not starting.
Hi, I'm Jack Stein, and I'm definitely not starting.
Alright, I'm Jake Sims. I'm not starting today.
Hi, this is Jugger, and I won't be starting.
I'm Carlos Buffett. I'm not
Nobody
starting.
knows who all these people are, man.
I'm Daniel Medvedev.
I know this guy. Daniel Medvedev, I know. What is he doing in the video?
Hello, I'm Erling Haaland with a dodgy Cockney accent for some reason, and I can tell you, I am starting. I asked my mate Phil to come and do this, but I can't find him. But he's starting as well.
Classic. I think this one's the best one yet. They should just do like UCL Fantasy, which is until the first game kicks off. I think the problem with that is if we wait till then, right, then you would still have to wake up. You would still have to wake up early to make sure that you get the lineups before the game starts, right? Before the first game starts. And in that case, it's still the same. You have to get up early. So put us on a level playing field, have it maybe 40 minutes, 3 to 4 hours before the deadline, you know? What matches would you be watching? I think I'll be watching quite a couple. Maybe not the Arsenal one, that one comes a little bit too late, but the rest I think I would be watching. Yeah, I think I'll be watching the rest. Right, we're gonna stream till the Man City account, which is the official one. The official one releases the lineups, right? Hopefully they do that. Yeah, nothing much. Nothing yet from Man City. But I'll stream until we get some news. Team news and ticks has to have someone working in Man City. It's impossible to guess whether they start or not. 100%. 100%. I think he definitely has a source. So what can we do, man? What can we do? What can we do? Right, let's wait for the news to come out. Right, but I do imagine that he would be correct. He's pretty accurate. So let's see. Right, I don't think we'll be able to hit 3,000 today, unfortunately, but it was worth the run. Right, thank you guys for coming down still. Do you watch any motorsports aside from football? I'll appreciate your help on the transfers a lot last week when it was full chaos. Love from Australia. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for staying even after the deadline. I think for those of you who are still here, it means a lot to me because we can just chat, you know? It's nice to interact and just talk about other stuff. So yeah, I follow F1 quite a lot actually. Right, I'm pretty up to date with whatever happens in F1. I support Charles Leclerc, so Ferrari, but they're not doing too well after quite a decent start. They're not doing too well. Right, what motorsports do you guys watch? Let me know. Meanwhile, I'm just refreshing the to help to wait for the Man City deadline. I'm not sure if I should end it now though. Should we end the stream now before the news comes out? I actually think it's pretty reliable. What do you guys think? Should we end the stream now? Who will you be supporting this World Cup? I would say Argentina. I think Argentina are a good team to support this World Cup. I will be playing alright. Why not let's use this time to set a World Cup team. Let's use this time to set the World Cup team. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong one. Give me a moment. Set the World Cup team. Me too. I watch F1, follow Lewis Hamilton, Daniel Ricciardo. I like Ferrari a lot, Charles. As well. Hopefully they do well next season. Did amazing at the start of the season. Yeah, I think they just fell off, you know. I think they just fell off. I'm not sure why. Okay, I'm trying to find the link to set a World Cup team. Alright, got it. I've got it up. Okay, shall we get started? Build a team. Save to create a team name. Right, who do you guys have? I think looking at the groups wise. Okay, right. Let's just put in the obvious ones first. Let's just put Lionel Messi in, and let's just put Neymar in. I think these are pretty obvious. Right, Unai Simon, the Spain keeper. I think Portugal have a pretty good group as well, so we could go for Diogo Costa, you know. There's Kepa as well. Alphonse Areola. Okay, let's take a look at midfielders. Who do you guys think are going to do well though? I think in terms of groups, let's see, let's take a look at the groups then. Scores and fixtures. Okay guys, you know what? I think we end the stream here. I think I'll set a team properly and then I'll post it on my socials, on Instagram, on Twitter. I'll post it on YouTube as well. I think we end the stream here and I'll keep you guys updated for that. Right, so I think I will do some research on which teams have the best groups and then we'll fit these players in. I'll play, but I don't think I'll do the content for World Cup, but I'll just play along and I'll let you guys follow through my team reveals on my socials, right? Right, Blink Z, thank you for staying, thank you for interacting. Thank you guys for coming down. Right, I'll see you guys in the streams and also the content in the other side of the World Cup. Right, thank you guys for coming down. Right, bye-bye.